This is my issue. I'm happy. I am really happy that styling services are up 30%. And I'm really, really happy to hear that that clients are requesting full salon services. Okay. What I am not happy about is looking at those numbers that you just shared, all those news that you just shared. In total for 2023, 62%. So first of all, before I even get into the percentages, the average the average visit to the salon was $63 and
Nationwide.
62% nationwide. And of all the services, 62% were haircut and blow dry styling. 23% was hair color. 8% was retail. And 7% was everything else. And everything else means an updo, a keratin smoothing treatment, a deep conditioner, a lip, chin, and what is it called? Eyebrow wax. What am I forgetting? The other services, the common quick services that get done. It really upsets me. It doesn't, it make like $63 is not a lot of money for an average. That
No.
means there are parts of the country that are charging $20, $30, as low as $20, $30 for services. That means there are parts of the country that are charging upwards of $100 per services. That's how, because an average is you take the low, you take the high, you meet in the middle. So to come up with $63 is that's how you get that average. With that said, it makes sense if 62% of all the services are haircut and styling afterwards. It makes sense how that number is so low. And it makes sense how that percentage is so high. Hairdressers are trying to get clients in and out. They think they're still in this mentality of, I got to get the client in and out. I can't, they can't be here too long. I don't have time. I got to get to my next one. I got to bang out 10 clients a day, 15 clients a day. The more clients I see per day, the more money I make. And it's just contradictive. That mentality is contradictive. That's not the mentality anymore. Because like you just said, John, 30% increase in full service experience. Clients, yes, everybody has their life and everybody has got to go. They got errands to run. They got things to do. Nobody wants to be sitting there for 3-4 hours. But at the same time, if you're communicating with them correctly, and if you're setting the expectation correctly, and if you let them know that how they want to look is going to take this much time, and they need to allocate that much time for it, then the client is willing to, like you just said, 72%, if they're asked to pre-book, will pre-book. And you
Right.
also said 64% is stretching out their services in between. So then they know that if you ask them to come back and you ask them to allocate this much amount of time, then they know in their mind, okay, I need to do this to maintain looking like this. They are doing it. More percent of clientele, 72% are pre-booking when asked. So
Right.
they are willing to sit and spend the time with you if you are willing to tell them that it's going to take this much time. Okay?
Right.
So trying to be a drive-through service is just not the thing anymore. All right? And I know
Those
the
days
number
are over.
one, those days are over, man. The argument of, I can't raise my prices. Well, you can't raise your prices because you're a freaking drive-through. You keep pushing
Right.
people in and out of the chair, and you're worried about the next client sitting there, waiting for their appointment. You're terrified of running late. So that's why 62% of all services is haircut and blow dry styling, and only 23% is hair color.
That that once again, that blows my mind because I think about all the hair color services, and see, I'm the transverse of that. Most of my clientele is hair color, and now I've slowly been rebuilding that part of my business. And my biggest contributor to that, I'm about 80-20 now, 80% color and 20% other services. And a big one for me, and I noticed for you too, is hair extensions. And especially with the hair extensions that I use, the flat weft, the beaded flat weft, boom, 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 boom. I mean, I'm rocking and rolling with it. Um, but hair color is still a big part of my business, and hair color is not something you can rush. Any of the services that we actually offer, you can't rush. Clients are there for you, and they're paying you for your time. And why are you just going to slap color on their head and not do a first off, let me backtrack.
You froze up.
Why are you not doing a proper consultation with them every time they sit in your chair? I do. I talk to them. We talk about their hair. I want to find out where they are, and I want to see where we can take that color to the next level instead of me just mixing 6N and 6A and putting it on her roots. And then in 3 weeks, when she comes back, she's like, I see red, but it's taking that color to the next level. And it's giving them that service. And I'm not greedy by any stretch of the imagination, but if you're gonna do a service, you need to charge for the service. It costs money. It costs money to do that service. It costs money for all the education that's in your skull, my skull, and the 20 million other hairdressers that are in their heads. We all learned. We went out, we got the education. I'm ranting now. Jeez, thanks, Eddie. But I think that we sell ourselves short, and that's why that ticket number is $62. Is we sell people are so scared to charge. And my biggest pet peeve, and and we go into this a lot, you and I, but does your doctor scared to charge you for coming into the room for 4 minutes, writing you a prescription and sending you out the door? Or seeing you, putting the stethoscope on your chest, and then their physician's assistant comes in? Are they like, oh, your doctor's not scared to charge you? Have you got new tires on your car lately? How much did that cost you?
Man,
Did they flinch at charging you? Did they flinch at charging you for that? No,
you got to
no.
argue for a
And we're
discount.
professionals. We're professionals. We have that little slip of paper that says we're professionals. So why are we not charging? And oh, see, you did this. You did this purposely because I'm on vacation. You're getting me all freaking worked up. Great. You're gonna have to deal with my wife when I get back because I'm gonna be all amped up today. But why? Why is a large and you've heard it from stylists too. I can't raise my prices. No, you don't have to raise your prices. What about getting them into other services? You'll actually make more money than that. But really, if you think about it, if it's $62 a ticket, right? And whatever your percentage is that you figure out is yours to put in your pocket after, if you're an independent or if you work for someone and you're on a commission structure or whatever, really think about how little that is. How long does a haircut and a blow dry take you?
Take me or the average stylist?
You. I'm using
15.
you.
I don't spend time blow drying, so I do 15-minute blow dries.
Okay. So
But
how long for
I
the haircut
don't
then?
5 minutes. Like I book 30 minutes for a haircut and style.
That's fine.
I
That's
don't
fine.
spend time. I don't do the sets and the crazy styling and stuff like that.
Okay. So for my purposes, that's 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So after everything's said and done, let's just say for the sake of argument, 50% of that $62 goes into your pocket. We're just using that number, okay?
Okay.
So 50% of that $32 goes into your pocket. And so what does that mean? That's $31
Mm-hmm.
and you 30 minutes of your time. So what does that mean? That means you're only making $62 an hour.
but you're not,
And
because you got to pay taxes. You got 80% of that $30 left. You got to pay in taxes. So you only have like $5 left. So you're only making
so
like
you're
$10 an hour.
exactly. But if you could now take that client, that client, right?
Mm-hmm.
That $62 ticket, and you get her into, let's just say for sake of argument, some special effects foils around her face, a smoothing treatment or a reconstruction treatment, whatever's on your menu, and you could bump that up to then doubling the ticket. Let's just say your goal is doubling that ticket. So now then you're making before take home, that would be what? I don't do math well, so let's call it'd be $120 an hour in your pocket, and then you pay taxes on that and stuff like that. You could double your money.
So that
and it was just a little bit of effort.
Yeah, that's, I guess on the one side of it, if 62% of all the services being done is styling and hair cutting, and only 23% is being hair color, then that tells me that all that hair color that's being done is single processes or not a lot of foil. You know, if the average ticket is $63, then it's not a lot of foils being done. It's not a lot of services, add-on services being done. So there's an opportunity that I agree with you. The opportunity to add on something a little bit more is huge. There's a huge opportunity there to do more. And if only 7%, the 8% in retail sales, I'm okay with that actually, because the magic number has always been 10%. That's always been the goal. To try to get into the double digits in retail, then you're doing pretty good. If the national average is 8%, that's pretty good. Okay, so I'm okay with that one. But if only 7% of everything else left over is all the other services involved, then there is a huge opportunity to raise your ticket prices. You don't have to raise your service prices, but there's a huge opportunity to raise your average ticket prices. And that right there, you'd get yourself a bump in pay. That's what we're talking about. Because I know it's so scary. A lot of people are terrified to raise their prices. And a lot of hairdressers are working at well below inflation and well below cost of living. Well below. And they work really hard. That's why they're trying to bang out 10, 15 people a day.
But you also have to look at it. You have to look at the longevity of your career too. If this is your career, you have to look at the longevity, and 15, 16 people a day is not. It's painful. And then when you become old like me, back in the days of churning people, I don't know if I could do it anymore. But the point is that if you can meet your clients' needs with another service, another 2 services, another 3 services, you don't have to do it all in the same day, but you will build that ticket up and build your ticket prices. You're giving your client, you're not gouging them, you're giving your clients something they need, and there's perceived value in what you're doing for them.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, smoothing. When I get back home, it's going to be 20 degrees and 8 feet of snow, and the heater's going everywhere, guys. And what's all your clients' hair doing? It's doing this because it's looking for moisture, right? I mean, a treatment here, a treatment there, and what's the worst thing that can happen is your client says no. And hi Eddie, did I lose you?
No, you're cutting in and out a little bit.
Yeah. So, I'm about to lose you.
Okay.
But